Good evening. Welcome back for Detox. Backyard Detox again tonight. So we'll get started right at 7:30 on the West Coast, so we got about 10 minutes until we start the practice if you're still getting settled or if you're just seeing this pop up and you want to join us for a restorative, relaxing practice, you're welcome to. We can get together in 10 minutes and mat. You really don't even need a yoga mat. And for this, if you don't have one, you can do it on the ground or on a blanket. What's up, Luke Skywalker? Do you want to come see? No? Your powers are weak. Hmm. Hey, Andre, good evening. Mm. Hey, Alberto. Good evening. Hope everybody had a good Sunday. backyard yin sesh. And if any want a playlist, you can always go to Spotify and click on any of the Detox. Hi, welcome back. I know it's later for you there in Argentina. What's your guys' quarantine like? Is it a complete lockdown? I know everybody's got their own, countries that is have their different nations. Some is leave your all. For others, it's a little bit or do these kinds of things. So what's the extent of the lockdown for Argentina, and how is Argentina faring with the virus right now? Check me out now, K Sue. Let me know if that's any better. Hi, Nikita. I just unplugged the mic and plugged it back in, so maybe that made a difference. Funky sound. Audio is in and out. So my normal tricks. Checked everything. Let's make sure we got a clear audio before we continue. Andre, better now? I'm going to go with you since you're saying that it's better. I unplugged, checked all the connections, but let me know if you guys are still getting, if anybody's still getting the crackling mic. I'm afraid I think sometimes when we wear the mic in the hot room when we're teaching that the water is not the sweat in the water is not great for the electronics obviously. Good. I'm glad the super technical fix of unplugging it and plugging it back in worked. I used to work in IT, and the thing that seemed to work most successfully most often was when you told people to unplug and plug back in. Like when you call the internet provider because your internet's not working, and they're like, unplug it, wait 30 seconds, and then plug it back in. Good. I'm glad you guys can hear me. Hi, Ron. All right, let's start our practice tonight. Remember, detox, restore, relax. We're not forcing these stretches through our body. We're letting gravity bring the stretch to us. So right now, I'm sitting here, you're sitting where you are, and it's like I can feel things in my body, but I'm not really feeling that sensation of the stretch or the elasticity through connective tissue until we start to put ourselves in different shapes. So we drop ourselves into the shape, stay there, remain as still as you can for the time that you're there. Keep your breath natural. And tonight we're going to get started in a seated position. So I'm sitting on my yoga block. If you want to sit and elevate your hips, you could sit cross-legged. You can also sit with one, Andre, you could also sit with one shin in front of the other. Hi, Emily. So cross-legged seat, totally get it that it's not the most comfortable thing for people. So if your hips are pretty darn tight, you can kick one leg out. Just find a place where you can, rest in the neutral spine, the upright position of your spine with your head above your heart. And then once you get set, yeah, you might feel your hips a little bit, but nothing that's too overwhelming that's going to happen trying to come out of it. Hey, from here, all we're going to do is take your right hand across your chest and hook your fingertips around the back of your shoulder, your left shoulder. And so the hand is resting on top of the shoulder. The fingertips found a little groove behind the bone of your shoulder. And then your left hand is still resting down on your thigh. And then as your right arm is the arm that crossed, your right ear is going to let it kind of tilt off towards your right shoulder. And you want to feel something along the lines of sensation in the left side of your neck. And so for some, you got to lift your chin and then go over, or, just depends on what's going on in your body. Once you find the sensation in the side of your neck, and then you can start to rest here. You're always welcomed as you get into the settling part of the practice. If you want to close your eyes, you're always welcome to close your eyes. And it's never easy in detox with the aches and the pains that we feel whenever we're placing the hand somewhere and then sustaining that. So if you get the aches and the pains in your fingers, in your wrist, in your arm, take certain hand positions. Stay with it the best you can, but if you notice that you're just struggling and not able to settle, then you can make a mindful adjustment, and so that you're able to settle. Settling is a key phase of every single detox posture. If we don't allow ourselves the opportunity to settle, then it's really hard to receive the benefits of the flow when we come out of the compressed state. Notice the point where the practice becomes an involuntary in response to stillness. And when you're able to simply drift and through the sensations and through the thoughts. Again, how you know you're not drifting is if you're pulling yourself out of the pose. You're really attaching energy into the thoughts that you may be having. So staying with the posture, staying with the mat, or staying on your mat and for the entire practice is good enough. And the rest will come. And breathe into whatever you may be feeling in the side of your neck. Take 3 deeper breaths. And feel the weight of your right hand on top of your left shoulder. And nice and slowly you can bring your head back up, and so that your spine is stacked in neutral. Once you feel your head on top, and then soften your chin towards your chest. And you can bring your eyes back into the space. And you start to relax the hand on the shoulder. And then your right hand can come back down onto your thigh, onto your knee. And take a moment, feel a breath. The right side of your chest. Opening back up underneath your shoulder blade. And feel it. Feel it how this practice is connecting to your previous practice, which is connected to your previous practice. So just like your breaths, whether your practice and that awareness is all linked together as well. You bring your eyes back into the space, and then set your right hand out to the side of you. And come off of your block or a prop if you're sitting on one. You're going to turn sideways on your mat. And so you can use the length of your mat. And you're on your right hip on your right hand. And then extending your legs out straight. And stack your top hip. You make your right arm straight. And then release your right side body. And so your ribs start to fall away. And your left hand can be around front to support. Make any adjustments so that you're not having to hold yourself up necessarily, but you're able to balance yourself using the stick of your right arm. And then you can let your chin fall down towards your chest. And legs are set really in no particular way. And the focus is on stretching and expanding the right side of your torso, and feeling the compression and a bit of a squeeze on the left side of your torso, especially down by your waist. And so about a minute in, and if you're not feeling it so much in the right side of your ribs, play with adjusting your right hand further out or closer in. And just see what your body needs. And then once you find it, now you can settle around those sensations. There's probably many sensations that are going on in your body right now. And certainly you might be feeling your right hand, your wrist. Remember all those aches and sensations. So start to lift yourself out slowly. And chin comes up and the ribs come back in. You slide your right hand in a little bit closer and then turn so you're with the length of your mat sitting on your bum. You bend your legs to support and then take your right arm behind your back. So like across your lower back and then hook your right arm there. You use your left hand, use your belly and your core and then come to lie all the way down on that right arm. Go slow. You might really feel this using your body as a prop. And then the shoulders come down, the head can land. Make any adjustments and that you need to. Want the back of the hips down onto the mat. You can keep your feet flat to start. And let your left hand come around and rest on your belly. And so your mind will do something different around the sensation now that your right arm is hooked underneath you. It's identify if this is something and that you can sustain, right? And observe, watch the discomfort, or if it's just straight up painful, make an adjustment. Move the hand down a little bit and slide the elbow a little bit away from the side. Do something where you can actually then and receive from the stillness. And if you don't have a strong discipline around stillness, if you don't always feel open to the practice in silence, well, then you're in the perfect place and to explore both of those things simultaneously. As your right arm remains, you're welcome for the second half to straighten your legs out onto your mat. You don't have to, but you're welcome to. And that may add the feeling of more weight to your right arm. And if you take it out and your body says not tonight, then put your feet back on the ground. Otherwise, come right back to settling in stillness. Take a breath to bring you back. If you drifted a little bit, it's normal. You bend your legs, so we're coming out the way we came in. Bend the legs first. But instead of sitting all the way up, you can lift your bum just enough, press through your feet, and to lift your low back, and then slide your right arm out from underneath you. As you bring your bum back down, let your legs go straight. You release your left arm down by your side and see if the right arm feels a bit longer. Take your left arm over your head, please. You bend your legs and roll all the way over onto your belly through your left side. And you can start up on your elbows, release your belly and your legs straight out behind you. And left elbow stays in front. Curl the right heel, the right foot in towards your bum. And then reach back with your right hand. And curl your fingers around from the outside of the ankle. And then you can settle your chin down onto the mat. You can create a little headrest with your arm. If that's too much and you have a towel or a way to wrap something around your ankle, sometimes when people are really tight, they'll just hold on to the cuff of their, if you have pants on. But if you can get the hand all the way around the ankle, let that draw the shoulder back. And adjust your knees out a little bit wider if you need to. And then go ahead and settle here. Nice and easy. You can start to let the ankle slide out of your hand. You release your right foot all the way back down onto the mat. And take your left arm down by your side. If you are turned to a cheek, turn to the other cheek. You rest the head and then feel the rebound all the way down the right side of your body tonight. And since you're on your belly, feel a little movement, chin to the mat. Bend both of your legs and then just windshield wiper your legs. And so heels to the right, heels to the left. And feel your hips. You might feel the triangular bone at the base of your spine, your sacrum. You pop, move, little crack. And then pause the legs. Bring the hands back underneath your shoulders. And go ahead and make your way back up to all fours. And once you get to all fours, stay in this direction. And while you're on your knees, curl your toes under. But rather than going, normally we do that to go back into a down dog. Tuck your toes under, and then we're going to sit back onto the heels. So it's called a little toe smash. And toes are tucked best they can. Head above your heart. You could take a deep breath and a sigh. Release the shoulders. It's okay to rest the hands in your lap. And let your chin rest down towards your chest. And close your eyes if you want to. And you can still trace the release, the openness, the flow, and that we've created through the right side of your body thus far. All right, so just a little taste of the toe smash. Bring your hands down onto the ground. And then untuck your toes. Keep your head heavy as you're in tabletop. And then somewhere in your next 3 breath cycles, take a deeper inhale. Sigh out your exhale. Wonderful. Let's turn to face the side of the mat once again. Come back into your seated position like we started. And so right side is the yang side. It's the masculine side of your body. So we've taken care of the right. Now let's go down the road and take care of the left. One ankle shin in front of the other. Knees set up as you can so that you're feeling it but not so uncomfortable that you're wanting to fidget or move around. And once you get it set, right hand's going to stay. Left hand comes across. So the hand is on top of the shoulder. And then the bone in the back of the shoulder, you can feel the fingertips just kind of catch underneath that bone to let your left arm settle. And let's be real, the size of things can be vastly different. And so interesting, and to not predetermine what it's going to be or how it's going to feel, and to just and see what it's like. You know, it's like if you're driving somewhere, your drive out there is going to be different than the drive back, yet you're on the same road essentially, and passing the same things, but and you're going to see them differently. Could take longer on the way there, shorter on the way back. So be patient with it. And then once you have the hand rested, you can put a little lift to the chin and let your left ear come down towards your left shoulder. Let's take a few deeper breaths here, in through the nose, out of the mouth. And at the end of this exhale, start to bring your head back up so you're in a neutral spine. And take a breath and then slide your left hand off of the shoulder and place it down onto your thigh. You feel yourself and your body in a neutral position. And soften and settle. And let whatever wave of breath that you're taking pass. And you can open the eyes if they're closed. And we'll uncross the legs and come off of our seat. And so if you're on a prop, and then turn sideways, and so your body has the length of your mat, and take your left hand out so your left arm is your kickstand. And on the outer left hip, right ankle can cross over your left leg straight, and then find the position. So your target sensation is the intercostal muscles running in between your ribs on the left side. And for you to get into that sensation, relatively it'll look the same, but it could look, fairly different as far as how close or far out you have your hand, and how much the shoulder lifts up towards the ear. And once you start to find it, though, then you can really feel, oh, if I settle more, and then release the body, release the back, release the inner thighs, then it goes a little bit deeper. And then you can just sit with it and let your chin come down towards your chest. Most likely you are getting better at sitting in the poses. It can be pretty entertaining when you think back to, one of your first detoxes and how the discomfort was so uncomfortable that you probably were moving or not staying in the poses the entire time, and yet you now probably built up that endurance, that staying power. And remember, when you stay longer in whatever discomfort may arise, it's a tremendous lesson for the mind. In this case, all you need is just a little curiosity and belief in that, the openness and suppleness that we're creating through the connective tissue is ultimately extremely healthy for the length of our body, the longevity, right, to keep our bodies mobile. And to lessen some of the strain, some of the acute stress that the body is holding on to. Think about it. If stress came at you today, this practice is releasing that, and then it's going even deeper to see what that may be connected to. And then once it finds that, and what that could be connected to, and so it's working in layers without you even trying to do anything, which I think is pretty interesting. And feel your belly loose. Take a deeper breath. And start to bring your chin back up. Use your right hand. And we're just going to turn ourselves and so that we're seated in line with the length of our mat. And then once you turn yourself, and sit up nice and tall. Take your left arm behind your back. Hook it all the way across and form across your lower spine. And then you can bend your legs. Use your right elbow. Start to come down onto your elbow. You feel it as your spine comes over your left forearm. And then little by little, you might feel this. I feel this in a lot of places. Come down onto your shoulders. Let your head come down. And keep your legs bent to start so your hips stay heavy. Your right hand can relax on your belly. if you're really feeling it, and take a deeper breath into the resistance and then fade a little bit as you exhale and surrender the any muscles that are activated, right? Tensing, gripping, trying to hold you up against, what you might be feeling. And you're welcome to keep your legs bent, or you can straighten your legs out. And relax here best you can. In Detox, there's ways to get to parts of your body that you never get to when you're skimming through the poses in a flow, or even when you're holding the poses a little bit longer. And so that's why I explained that this practice focuses on the connective tissue that interconnects and relates and through every part of your body. And so it's pretty much what makes you whole as a being, the fascia, the connective tissue. And that's what you're getting into. That's why you're feeling some things that you've never felt before in certain parts of your body. Like I was saying at the beginning, you didn't really feel all that much, and then change the position of your body, surrender to the weight of gravity, and then you can be feeling quite a bit. And it's great, everyone. If you're getting some tingles in your left hand, and pretty normal. Bend your legs so that your feet are flat. No rush. Use your feet to lift your bum and your low back just enough, and so that you can bring your left arm out from underneath you. And some people feel that one a lot. Some people don't really feel it at all. Let a breath fill your chest, fill your lungs. And then go ahead and release your legs again with your arms by your sides. Now, feel the movement, the space, and the release down the left side of your body. It's so nice to sit in the rebounds because you just never know when that one moment is going to connect, when something is going to become clear. When your body in something that it was holding on to is no longer holding on to it anymore. Bend your legs, take your right arm over your head, roll through your right side. And come around, turn onto our bellies. You can start up on your elbows and keep your right elbow there to support. And curl your left heel in towards your bum and then reach back with your left hand. Grab for the inside or the outside. Probably the outside of the ankle. And then so it's not in your low back, you can spread the knees a little bit wider. Use your right arm and bring your head down. Find yourself a little support on your arm.
And take a deep breath. And then you can start to release the hand from the ankle. Right arm down by your side. And then you can turn a cheek. And you let your body get heavy and release into your mat. You know how sometimes in life you're moving through phases and you're hearing things that are going on around you, but you're saying, "Oh, that's not for me. I don't need to hear that." And then somewhere along the way you realize, "Oh, I do really need to hear that. I just wasn't hearing it from perspective and where it was landing or where it was making any sense." And so, and staying open to hearing things as many times as we need to, and to allow our own internal process to connect the dots when they are supposed to be connected. And always being willing to show up, in this case on our mat for yoga. Bring your hands under your shoulders, chin to the mat. You can make your way up to all fours, keep the head heavy. And feel the neck, feel the shoulders, tuck the 10 toes underneath the heels. And then we'll come back to sit on the heels one more time. And toe smash, you can let your hands relax in your lap. If it's too much, just keep your hands down on the ground. And see if you can sit a little bit softer this time. It's like what I'm saying the first time. You'd be like, why am I doing this? Why am I sitting with this excruciating sensation perhaps in my feet? But as you watch the ripple effect of those sensations from your feet, and the compression that you may be having in your knees or in your hips, and then through your spine into your chest and your shoulders and your neck and your jaw, and if you let all of that go for one simple second, maybe things will change in the way that your mind is interpreting the experience in this moment, and then therefore all the moments that are coming and from this point forward. Mm, that's good. That's good. Bring your hands down. You felt it. Untuck your toes and then swing your legs all the way around in front of you. And let's set up for our final Shavasana tonight. And so clear anything out from around you. If you'd like something to cover your eyes or a blanket to cover your body, you are welcome to go ahead and do that. So lie down onto your backs. Separate your heels so they're at least hip width distance apart. And take your arms at least 6, if not 12 inches away from the sides of your body. And let your palms face up, okay, to this space that you've created, you've been a part of, putting yourself in these positions tonight. And once you lie down, you are welcome to make those final adjustments so that you can settle. Remember the importance, okay, of settling. It's not the settling perspective of like, oh, I'm settling in my life. It's settling and so that you can root yourself, right, in a world that is endlessly uprooting us. It's never going to stop. We always have an equal opportunity to grow and to change our beliefs, our systems, ourselves as human beings, ourselves as human beings in relationships with other human beings. We always have this incredible equal opportunity. And so allow your practice and to be, an element of grounding in the perpetual cycles of energy that is uprooting. That's what it's supposed to do. And take at least the next few moments to really absorb your Shavasana tonight. See how you're feeling. Stay longer if you want to. And whenever you're ready to go, just do so with grace, softness, patience. Take it all with you into the rest of your evening. And I look forward to seeing you all hopefully tomorrow morning for a 10 a.m. vinyasa practice. And as of right now, we'll continue the detox classes. Keep you all posted as we, hope to be able to open the studio again in a safe and a mindful way. So we'll be putting out some more information on that soon. So let's enjoy them while we're doing them, the detoxes in the evenings. Have a beautiful night, everybody. Thank you so much for your practice. Namaste.